Hi, I'm Rosalee, and this is the Baby Notebook. My parents were predators, and they documented my life obsessively. This notebook was written over 40 years ago. I've never read it until now. I recorded myself reading the Baby Notebook to catch my natural reactions, to see my face, to feel my energy, to be able to read myself. I teach this process of witnessing in the diner. I created everything that the Plumb Collective is to help myself. The practice, a course, and reading photos is for me. It's about me being me. I use the tools that I created to help myself, and I'm sharing it with you. Witness me witnessing myself. Read the words my parents wrote about me, to me, but they weren't for me. This is the Baby Notebook.
Dear baby, this is Sunday, October 9th, 7:45 a.m., and your dad wants to share with you this, that our Friday afternoon, October 7th, after Mom and I were done working, we went to the credit union and we opened an account for you, baby Lee, little Lee. We started with $135. Most of it came from money your dad and mom earned at the county fair the week of September 7th through the 11th. Some of it was earned on the sunny, hot day of Friday, September 9th, when your mama called the doctor from there to find out if you were really on the way. We also had taken this money along to Las Vegas in Mom's handbag, but we didn't spend it there. We saved it for you. Dad had also gotten a refund from the lawyer and put some of that money in your account. Doing this for you, sweets, has given Mom and I a great feeling. Made us both very, very happy. I still want to get you a bed real soon and set it up for you. Mom says it's too early, but I want to do it. So every time I look at the bed, I can imagine how beautiful it will be when you are laying in it, sleeping away. You would maybe cry in it too, but that's okay with me. We are both so excited, waiting for you to come. We love you so much. Dad is just out of it, knowing all of these great thrills you've given me already. Love, your dad. Dear little baby, 10/11/1983. Oh, we love you so much. I just want to tell you that Mom and Dad went to our first pregnant class last Wednesday night. It was really very, very nice. We learned what happens to mothers in the first 3 months, and we learned about fathers quitting smoking. Dad has cut down. I'm proud he's doing it for you. In our class, we learned what we should eat, and when she said we could get our milk serving from ice cream, all 32 of us cheered. But she counteracted the good stuff by saying we need liver once a week. Oh, ick. Grandma is going to help me with this one. She makes a real good liver dumpling soup, so Mama will eat some of that once a week. After class, we stopped at Dairy Queen, where we saw another couple from class getting their milk serving in a banana split. Baby, honey, in case you are wondering why this is so messy today, it's because Mom is in bed and very sleepy. I love you, baby. I'll write more tomorrow. Love, Mama.
I have been reading entries from a 40-year-old notebook. It's my baby notebook that my parents wrote to me before I was born. And this is the 10th entry that was written on 10/17/1983. And this one has the time. It was written at 5 p.m. And it was written by my mother. To our darling, sweet child, Mama had her second checkup for you today. Everything went very well, and he'll see me again next month.
Now, Daddy and I came out to our quaint little church in the country. We stopped out here last year in fall, and it was so beautiful with all of the colored leaves. This year was no exception, except that we had our baby along. Daddy touched Mama's tummy, and we talked about how next year you will be with us and about 6 months old. Daddy said, you'll be wearing a hat and sweater that Mom crocheted. Well, darling, maybe you'll settle for a simple blanket. I think Mama can hook one of those for you. But a sweater and a cap? We love you, honey. We are looking forward to you being here in 6 months. Mama will keep you warm during the winter. This church that they're referring to, we did go to every fall, and there are videos every year and photos every year. They are not organized, and it is a whole disaster, but there are, I have very vivid memories of being at this church, and I never went to the church when any people were around. We would go when there was no one, so I'm not sure if it was an abandoned church, but it's like an entry like this with something that did continue as a tradition tugs on my heartstrings a bit and has me, feel like, well, there were some sweet moments. Well, of course there were some sweet moments, but there were also like really traumatic, awful moments more than the sweet ones. And so all the sweet ones, unfortunately, get tainted. I've been reading from a 40-year-old notebook that my parents wrote to me before I was born that I never read before. It's about 6 months until my 40th birthday, and it just was an intuitive nudge to find this notebook and look at it for the first time. I've been kind of doing every day-ish, and then I have just skipped a few days in between when it has felt kind of intense or too much for me to look at. I have been reading the pages and recording it as I'm reading it, so I'm not reading ahead, but I have looked just at the dates. And my parents also took some time off, and so now we're almost on the exact same day. So the next entry is actually today's date, 40 years ago. So 11/19/1983. So we're going to do 2 entries today just to get on the same timeline as them. The previous entry was from 10/17/1983, and then the one I'm going to read right now is from 11/13/83, and then we're going to also do 11/19/83. Okay, what did they say to this baby on 11/13/83? And this is my mom's handwriting. Sweetheart, the days and weeks and months just keep ticking by. Daddy and I are having our wedding party this Friday, the 18th. We also put that we are celebrating our bundle of joy, April 1984. So we are really having a party to celebrate. We love you, darling. You are around 4 months now, and our book says you are 6.5 inches long and weigh 4 ounces. You've got quite some growing ahead of you. You've also done some pretty marvelous things so far. I delight so much in telling people at the shop that we are expecting our miracle baby. That was held against me later on. Mama had surgery that left her with only part of an ovary, and this is Daddy's second time around to start a family. She was 32 and he was 52 when I was born. So we beat the odds, and we both want you in our lives very, very much. You are now and always will be very loved, wanted, and special, because you are a product of Mommy and Daddy's extreme love for each other. I'm so happy, honey, to tell you that Daddy is the most fantastic man I have ever known. If you grow up with only half of your daddy's good qualities, you will be very special. You will be a very special, wonderful, sensitive person. He had some psychic abilities as well. So I think, okay. It's just weird to read this. In case you haven't noticed, I love your daddy so much, and he has shown. I love your daddy so much, and he has shown in so many ways. He loves me too. We are so happy, and we can't wait to share it with you. Mama goes to the doctor Tuesday after work. I hope we can hear your heart beating. Mama also started to wear maternity clothes to work now so she can be more comfortable. I have been feeling really good the last month and only threw up once in all of that time. But I have had a few headaches like the one I have today, but it's a small price to pay for all of the happiness we have. Again, her pregnancy was held against me, and so it's a little challenging to read, like, oh, it's fine. It's just the price to pay for all this happiness. Daddy is working hard to get all of the outside projects done, and Mama has just been laying around. But Mama is still using her head making plans for our party. I hope you enjoy it, sweetheart. Love, the Mama. Today's date is November 19th, 2023. My baby notebook is dated 11/19/1983. The entry I'm about to read was written by my mother exactly 40 years ago today. This entry is what she wrote to her unborn baby, who happens to be me. Our darling baby, 11/19/83. It's only been 6 days since I've last written, but we have so much to tell you. First, on Tuesday, Mama went to the doctor. That wasn't a real good visit. We couldn't hear your heartbeat yet, and Mama got pretty worried. The book says that it is actually heard at 5 months, yet most people I've talked to heard it much earlier. So the doctor said I should have an ultrasound, which is like an x-ray, only safer and painless. Okay. That we did on Thursday. Boy, it was a long time on Thursday from Tuesday. Anyway, it was worth the wait. Daddy and I got to see you on a TV screen, exactly how you are looking. You were laying on your back with your head on your mama's right side. Your little fists were raised up. And you moved your head and your hands around. I don't know why it's making me emotional. It was great. Daddy was sitting on a chair at the foot end of the table, and I couldn't see the TV screen too well yet. But when Daddy saw you first, he held my foot really tight. As if to say, I love you so very much, Mama and baby. At first, on the screen, you looked like there were two of you. But then the doctor said that the one circle was your head, and the second was your chest. And today, your head was 3.8 centimeters. And that puts you at 4.5 months old, or almost halfway there. I don't know what this means. Where you say, to the day that Daddy and Mama can hold you in our arms. I'm not sure what that means, but it makes me emotional to think like exactly 40 years ago today, my head was that big, 3.8 centimeters. And that they were worried and felt relief. Well, this one is getting me in a new way, where I don't feel angry or confused or resentful or pissed off or, just neutral or whatever I feel like. I can feel their relief in her words. So the last entry to my baby notebook kind of fucked me up, so I took a little break from it. Part of my intuitive ability is reading energy in words, in language. So I was taken a bit off guard by how much relief I felt in that entry. It's an odd experience being the person who was the child that they're talking about. It's my actual lived experience, and then this hopeful thing doesn't really match up, and then sometimes it does, and then you add in the part about my abilities, and then it's a confusing, conflicting experience, and I'm often wondering why I felt this intuitive nudge now to do this, but I'm sticking with it, and I'm taking, time when I need to, but it is fucking me up. It also is so affirming how important written word or making record of how you feel in the moment can be so important. It's both of my parents have died. I have complicated feelings about them and about my childhood, and I have a lot of photos, a lot of videotape, and a lot of written word to be able to untangle my life and my childhood. And so this is a step I'm taking in the direction of understanding myself more fully and accepting myself more completely. Okay, this entry is from 11/20/83. Hi, little one. Mama fell asleep with thoughts of the last line I wrote yesterday in her head. Now to write more. Needless to say... Oh, well, she's not going to tell us what was the last line. Oh, this is what was confusing to me. Where you say, to the day, that Daddy and Mama can hold you in our arms. Okay. Mama fell asleep with thoughts of the last line I wrote yesterday in her head. Now I write more. Needless to say, we were very happy with the ultrasound. We left the hospital and went to tell Grandma and Grandpa. We couldn't stay long, though, because we were getting ready for our big celebration. We sent out invitations and everything, and we wanted to celebrate our marriage and our upcoming bundle of joy, you. Many people came, and many brought gifts. There were presents for you and all of us. Grandma and Grandpa gave us a crib and a food processor so we can grind food for you when you can start eating. We also got Pampers and baby lotion and powder. Love you, honey. At the party, Daddy had to run home for some things we forgot. When he came back, he had a sign he made up. Rosie and Lee and Junior or Juniorette, welcome to our party. Have a good one. I thought that was so very nice. Daddy is such a wonderful man. I love him so much. The party was really nice. Mama made too much food, though. We think everybody had a good time. We sure did. Then yesterday, when we were putting the food away, we called the neighbors over to take some food home because they have 3 boys. So we were talking, and I told them the only thing I had cravings for was chili. A little while later, they brought over a bowl of chili for the baby. I thought that was so very nice. I wish you would hurry and get here. You are so wanted, little one. God bless you, our sweets. Till next time, love, Mama and Daddy. Okay, we're on some weird parallel timeline thing because today's entry is 40 years in the future, but it was written on Thanksgiving Day. So this entry is not dated with the exact date, but it was written on Thanksgiving 1983, and it is Thanksgiving Day 2023. If you are just joining us, this is from my baby notebook, and this entry was written by my dad. So it starts, Happy Thanksgiving, honey. We just talked to a family member and told her how happy we are about you coming in April. They live out of state and are supposed to be here for Christmas. Mama and Daddy are so excited about you, baby. Daddy holds Mama's tummy from every once in a while so I can touch you and talk to you. Lately, we sleep when we get home from the shop or at around 4 or 5 p.m. Later, we will get up and do some work or watch some TV. Slowly, winter is arriving, baby. Today, it's colder and windy, like 25 degrees. We got the house ready as well as little car and truck. Mama and Daddy are watching some Thanksgiving Day parades while Mom is making us some breakfast. I'll write more later, Daddy. We're going to stop avoiding the baby notebook and we're getting back in. So today's entry is 11/27/1983. Some of these are dated, some of them are not. This is dated and the day. It was a Sunday. November 27th, 1983 was a Sunday, in case you wanted to know. Our darling little one. Not much time today to write. Your aunt, who's awful, is in the hospital. And we are going to drive up there to see her. I just wanted to share with you two things. Yesterday, before, she wrote after, crossed it out, and then wrote before. So, okay. Before we put the Christmas tree up at the shop, Daddy and you all, wait, I've got it now. Daddy and I and you all took a trip. Took a whirlpool. I don't understand. What is this sentence? Daddy and I and you all took a whirlpool bath. Although Mama couldn't stay in too long, so she doesn't get you too warm, it was real nice, the three of us together in the whirlpool. Wait till you're born. I bet you'll really like it then. Also, Mommy wanted to tell you that today is the first day since we found out we were pregnant that it snowed, and the snow stayed on the ground. The truck is covered with a blanket of snow, and although it's pretty, it sure is cold. But don't worry, Mama will keep you warm because Daddy keeps Mama warm. We love you, our little darling. God bless you, honey. Love, Mama. Weird.